What's good, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Humping should be consensual. Let's make sure that's distributed to the airwaves. Yes. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a good day. It's a bit of a interesting time in the music atmosphere, the music space, especially within CHH. But I think that this will still be a good and fruitful conversation. And we usually don't get a lot of returning guests, especially for these one-on-one interviews. So this will be dope to have a conversation with a fellow producer, fellow disciple of Christ. But before we get into all that, let me drop the intro real quick. Thank you.
Through my ancestors in the ocean. Now we became the new wave, and we're about to drown this system.
Welcome, everybody, to the Kid Casper podcast. I'm your gracious, beautiful, blessed, beloved, and black host, the kid that they call Casper. The KID in Kid Casper stands for that king of development. I'm that menace with the melanin. Reject me as I am, as long as he is still relevant. Hello, I'm that quirky black kid that they call Casper. I'm a Christian raptivist, Yes, rapper slash activist. Like I super love Jesus, but I'm super far from a pacifist. You know what I'm saying? Support the business, ghostthreads.com. That's how we pay the bills around here. And that's about it. Also, make sure you wash your hands. There's this whole debate on whether or not people's hands are ashy because their hands are just ashy, not because they actually wash their hands. That's a whole nother topic for another day. So this morning, because it's 11:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am bringing back not only a friend of the channel but also a friend in real life. This guy is a producer. He's probably one of the better human beings you'll meet. If you have a problem with this individual, there's something you did wrong. That's just me. If you got a problem with him, I mean, there's something wrong with you. I'm not saying you're demonic. It's just I just feel like when you're around this gentleman, like there's a manifestation that takes place, and it's not the Holy Spirit. So everybody, my returning guest this evening, this morning, this afternoon, depending on wherever you're watching this from, is my good brother Drew. But y'all can call him CeeAHNO. How you doing, bro? How's everything going, man? You better smile you gotta smile, man. Hold on. And you're muted.
Am
There we
I?
go. Yeah. Let's try this again. All right. What's going on, Drew? How's everything been, man? You're still muted. What did you do? Oh my gosh. Why does this keep
How about
happening?
now?
There we go. Glory to God.
right.
We did it. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Yeah, that was a great intro. I wasn't expecting that. So
Yeah. Look, man. Look, I personally think I'm an a-hole. So if somebody gets mad at me or has a problem with me, I understand. But you're probably one of the more nicer people that I know. So if somebody got an issue with you, man, I don't know. They got to go to the Father with that. I don't know, man, for sure. But how's everything been going, man? It's been a couple of years since we've had you on the pod, and it's also just been a while since we spoke. There's been a lot of things in my life that has just changed, obviously, but we don't need to get into that because this is about you. But catch us up, Drew. What you been doing? What you been working on? How's life been? How's everything been going, man?
yeah, so for me, life's just there's been a lot of like good changes, especially with music. I've gotten to just in this era of my life where I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing myself more than just being a producer, but more being an artist too. I'm working on just being both, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying that part of it, and so yeah, that's what's been going on, and I'm just grateful that I got to drop my EP over the summertime on my birthday, and yeah, I just gotten a lot of like good responses from people from it, so I'm grateful. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I actually bought the thing. Hey, if you support your favorite artists or just artists in general that you favor, buy their music. Don't just stream it because personally, I mean, you know this as well as I do. As an independent, just a creative in general, and you don't have the establishment backing you and stuff like that. Every click, every play, it's fruitful, sure, but like buy the music. I mean, like his EP is only $5. I mean, like I've seen y'all buy $5 for weed, so y'all could buy, y'all could spend $5 to buy. You know what I'm saying? To buy my man's music, man. And you guess what? He smoked it, but it won't get smoked and it won't disappear. You could always just go back and listen to it if you feel compelled, for sure, for sure. But yeah, man, let's talk about that. So this is something. Let's just really get into this. So one thing I know about you, Drew, as you navigate these spaces as an artist and a producer, you usually have played the background in a lot of times. But I think, at least in the last year, I've been paying attention. You've stepped out a lot more. I don't know if you noticed that by chance or if you can attest to that. But how has God been inspiring you and provoking you to be, don't be, when I say the drummer, because wherever the drummer is, the drum kit, whether marching band, jazz band, even just in orchestra, if there's percussion, it's always in the background. But you've decided to bring yourself to the forefront, and you're the main act for once. Tell me about that, bro.
Uh, yeah. So I didn't really, to be honest, I didn't catch most of that because you kept kind of freezing on me a
I
little
I
bit.
was freezing. Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see.
yeah, you
Let's
were
see.
like in and out. Yeah,
Okay. Can you hear me now? Everything good? This is why we have editing.
yeah,
Okay. Everything's good. Okay. Okay. So what I was saying is that Drew, typically, at least since I've known you, you've more so played the background when it comes to producing for music for people and different artists, if you will. And a lot of times, what I've noticed with you, Drew, is you're satisfied, or I would just say, I don't even want to say comfortable. I feel like you're content for the longest time being the background, as most producers and drummers do to some degree. Because as you know, when it comes to percussion, a lot of us specifically, we have to be in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it be marching band, we're the heartbeat of the music. We're in the complete background, right? Whether it be for orchestra, for percussion, we're in the background for band, jazz band, you name it. Every arrangement, the drummer or the percussionist is always in the background. However, I've noticed, Drew, that you've decided to step out, if you will, in a sense, to essentially be center stage and just show people who you are. Can you tell us about what provoked this? And how does it feel to be in this season of your life, if you don't mind me asking?
yeah. I would say I got to a point where I do enjoy producing music for others. But at the same time, I kind of got to a point where I kind of got tired of always trying to chase, like, you know how like producers just trying to chase the placements instead of like just
Mm-hmm.
focusing on just making great art. So I kind of got into a place right now where I'm focusing a lot more on making great art than trying to, I guess, chase a song placement, or so. And I noticed that when I focus more on the art, then people want to come to me instead of me having to chase them. So
Mm. Okay. I'm not gonna. You know me. I pick up on the little things. So, what do you mean by that last phrase? That last phrase that people are gonna want to come to you. Like, dive deeper on that.
like uh like people, um they kind of want to see, they want my service instead of me trying to uh chase them for the service. So yeah.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the funny thing is, and I don't think that this is funny. I feel like very few people understand exactly what you're talking about. So as you know, I'm a producer as well, and I've been making music since I was 11 years old. And a lot of times, and you know this, when it comes to being a producer, a lot of times, because of the position we're in, if you will, it's a lot of like, what can you do for me, as in the artist that's trying to get on a song that you, or a beat maker, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to get on the beat that you essentially produced, the vegetation you got. But I've noticed that very rarely will people ask a producer like, what can I do for you? You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that?
Mhm. Yeah, that's really what serving is. Serving is, it's more giving, the intent to give more than to receive. So um when I focus more on creating good art for people, I'm more focused on giving than trying to receive automatically something.
Right.
Um so yeah, that's how I see it. Yeah.
Okay. And so the name of this project, okay, break it down for me. So the name of this project is, let me make sure I got my notes correctly over here. Let me see. I just had it. I just had it. I think it's Renewal, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm over here dealing. My daughter got into my iMac, as you can tell, and everything's a little jumbled up. So, talk to me a little bit about this project, the inspiration, not only the name, but the beats behind it, bro. Real quick before I get myself situated.
Yeah, so what's funny is, um when when I came up the names of all these tracks, I wasn't really having an intention of making a project. It just whatever kind of came to mind when I was making these beats in the moment is just I kind of put it down. And then for some reason, all of these track names kind of connected together into a theme. And so I was kind of doing a lot of brainstorming. I'm like, what do all these different phrases mean? All these track names mean? And so um, I guess throughout since the end of last year, I've been kind of like getting more deep into reading my Bible and praying and meditating on the Word. And so
Mm,
um, one of um, the verses that like is stuck out to me while doing my devotional time, um, Romans 12:2 is and it talks about the idea of renewing your mind. Um, and so like that was always a verse that I always memorized. Yeah, do not man. Uh
I'm still hearing you. I'm still here.
yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
All good. All good. Let's talk about that a little bit actually. So the thing about Romans, as we know, if Abraham was the father of our faith, let's just say the uncle of the New Testament. You know what I'm saying when it comes to Paul, right? So the thing about with Paul when he was intending, especially when it came to Romans 12, is that more so not being conformed or being imprisoned to how culture is constantly shifting in the world, right? So Romans 12:2 says, and it's essentially, let me pull it up, and I got the NIV from my side. It says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." So for me, I mean, I stay on this constantly, especially as a reminder, if you will, for what the main mission is, but how it sounds like to some degree, like it was inspiration, but conviction, if you will, when it came to when it came to
Yeah.
Romans 12. If you want to talk on that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I just been for the past year, I just been in a place where I'm just constantly changing just the way I think about things as just reading my Bible as I'm praying. Um and just I notice yeah, that's pretty much like just how I've been changing my habits and the way I think about things is just how those things kind of inspired just this project, based on,
Okay.
yeah. So based on those things.
Okay. How how has, if you will, how have these things manifested in your life? Like, how has the changes and how have, I mean, obviously it's happening upstairs first. Like, what do we say all the time? When we would come to Bible studies and stuff like that, we would say, the heart of the man is not in his chest, literally, it's up here. So the renewing has to take place upstairs first, and then whatever is happening up here is implemented and implicated in everything that we do. How has that shown up in your actions as well as your thought process?
Yeah, just being consistently when I always like just wake up in the morning, I'm always just remembering um just to be grateful. Like especially when I wake up in the morning, like I'm grateful for just to live another day, to be able to have food, have a place to live, just to be in that place of gratitude every morning. And especially like right before I do my devotional time before I exercise. I've been just consistently exercising, Monday through Friday. And that's just been something that's helped me just be able to get outside, touch grass, So it's just,
Mm-hmm.
being able to do that consistently throughout
Okay.
each week. So
Okay. All right. That's what's up for sure. Before we get to the project, I just want to say, dude, you've been I've noticed that you've come out of your shell a little bit Not a little bit, because I don't want to minimize the work that's been done. You've been coming
Yeah.
out of your shell a lot when it comes to your online presence. Like when normally when you would show like the beat making or the producing of a beat, or if you were doing like a sample flip, if you ever, it was just like you just have your keyboard and just be like, okay, all right. But now you do like the face expressions, you do the little
Yeah.
all that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What I've noticed that for me at least what I've gotten out of what's also happening is there's a not to say that you are stuck in this like performance routine, but I've noticed that you're able to have fun not only in what you produce musically, but also how you present yourself when you're making music. Talk to me a little bit about that, bro.
Yeah. I guess part of that is just being Kalen Ellis kind of was a big part of that, like watching a lot of his content, like whether it's live on the stream on Twitch and YouTube, or um just even just being able to constantly like have conversations with him. Like I do like consultations with him once or twice a month, and just being able to he kind of helped me to kind of dig deeper into that, dig deeper to just having fun and just focusing on those things.
Right.
So yeah, he's been just helping me out with that part.
Okay. Break that down for me.
Yeah.
So you said that you have consultations, and you said like it's been imperative when it comes to how you approach these things. Like break that down, like not only how much like those encounters and indulging in these encounters means to you, but also how imperative it has been to this renewal that's been taking place in your life.
Yeah. So one of my friends, Kalen Ellis, he's a producer, artist, from he's from Florida. And so he does these live streams on a weekly basis, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. And so he doesn't just like just make beats on stream, but he's also like having conversations, giving like a short message in the beginning, just talking about whatever's on his heart. And he's also a Christian too, so he always has something set, like whenever he talks about something like that he feels like that's in his heart, he
Mm-hmm.
tries to dive into the Bible a little bit. And it's cool because a lot of the people that are on the stream, they're not really Christian, they're
Right.
not really followers of Jesus. So it's cool how they're able to just receive stuff from him, just while on the stream. And just, it's not really a place where a lot of people are open just to receive it, especially if they're not really in a church environment, so
Right. Okay. All right.
yeah.
So I'll have to definitely. So I don't really know much. I know about you. These people aren't putting me onto you. You're putting me onto these people. So to big you up a
Yeah.
little bit on that regard, for sure. For sure. I'll have to check them out
Yeah.
for sure. Um,
Yeah.
I think I think another thing that I wanted to ask you and just get some insight about is I feel like, not to say that you were lost before, I think you found a pocket, if you will. And I'm, as a producer, I'm definitely going to ask you some questions as far as the kits and stuff you come up with, as far as like how you construct your beats. However, I see a lot of, and when I say this, so we know this as artists, right? So like let's get nerdy for a second. So every artist, producer, singer, they have something unique that they do that nobody else does. So for like people like even Kanye, people call him the sample god. I ain't gonna call anybody else a god. That's just me. But that he samples, and he does he got a lot of that from No ID when it came to the finding the sample, chipmunking it, chopping it up, and then like almost using it as a drum pattern. We have that, right? However, for you, like it's the I'll describe it like it's the ad libs and stuff like that. It's the sound effects, if you will. Tell me, because I don't think I asked you this before. Tell me how you've been able to establish your own pocket in your own lane in CHH as a producer, as well as you've been able to do it because your music is different. I don't care what anybody says. The stuff that Drew makes or CeeAHNO makes, it's nothing like other stuff that you heard before. And I'm not just saying this to gas him up because this is my brother. However, he's been able to be a part of the space, but not allow the space to dictate how he is to sound. So, what is that? How have you been able to do that, Drew? And what has that process been like to establish yourself and put your fingerprint and your pulse on your music?
Yeah, a lot of it is just doing a lot of experimenting and just um doing consistently doing the things that I enjoy doing when it comes to just my sounds. And a lot of I noticed for the past couple years I've been doing a lot of sample flips with yeah, Caitlin Ellis's community, the Makers Club. And
Okay.
so I've always enjoyed doing those because that's kind of helped me to just create my own sound, just being able to do a lot of those sample flips. And so
Mm-hmm.
um like one of the sample flips from a couple years ago, I actually those were where the ad libs kind of came from that flip that I did. And so I was like, oh, I like these specific sounds and I'm just gonna consistently use it. And then and just people that I'm just been working on music with, they've been noticing, oh, you like using this specific sound and that specific
Right.
sound. So
Mm-hmm.
why don't you just keep constantly using it?
Right.
So yeah, I've been getting good feedback with when it comes to stuff like that. So
Yeah, for sure. I'll interrogate on you now. So I notice, I'm not trying to give all your secrets away. I notice there's this thing you do, and there's this specific sound that you do. And it's almost like the hi-hat. The hi-hat sound that you the vibe aesthetic that you go for. It's that little synth sound that goes ding ding ding. That's like your hi-hat.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I've noticed that when a couple of things that you make, and I'm like, this boy is literally defined what a hi-hat sounds like for himself. And I don't mean boy to be
yeah,
derogatory or to minimize you, but I think it's dope even when it comes to how you produce, that you've literally changed like for those that have the ears to hear, right? Let's get biblical for a
yeah,
second. God gives us all gifts, right? God gives us all gifts. Some of us are talented, some of us are gifted and have gifts, and some of us are disciplined, right? But for you, I've noticed, I'm like, dude, this guy's brain works in such a way, and it's that bellion gene in your head that you're like,
yeah.
I don't even want drums to sound like drums. Talk to me a little bit about even that sound and why that's important, because I hear it when I heard it not only on every track on this EP, but I hear it on stuff that I've just heard you um share with the world, sample flips, if you will. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's yeah, I think it's just the idea of just constantly trying out like what's been working, like what's been working for my ear, and just seeing how it resonates to people. Um it's not like a super, I guess, deep like thought process behind it. It's just like I'm kind
Mm-hmm.
of just going off of feeling. So
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's crack into this EP, man. So let's go one by one and let's see, like, because and I don't want to play your I don't want to play it on here just because, like, in case you blow up on me and my shit gets flagged. I don't want to get flagged for you. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't want to get flagged for anybody, but I don't want to get flagged for you. So when I clip this up and put out for and like throw samples of your stuff, it'll be in there. But just for this, and I'm editing all this out, we'll do this. So let's go down the list, man. So ready, set, go. Caps. It's in all caps. Exclamation point, essentially. Talk to me a little bit about this track and what the thought process was for this.
Yeah, it's just I guess I was thinking about like the idea of just starting something and not overthinking it. And it's kind of like I was kind of thinking about like a beginning of a race. You know how they go ready, set, go. And so just kind of like I made that the first track because I felt like it was a beginning of a journey, you know. So that's for my process behind that. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
All right. And for the time is now. I noticed that you didn't want to say my time is now because you didn't want John Cena to bust in your house like the Kool-Aid man. That would have been
Yeah.
serious. But talk to me talk to me a little bit about the track The Time Is Now and your thought process behind that one as well.
Yeah, it was just when I was making that track, I was thinking of like just a process of just of movement, being on the move, not waiting to do something, but like knowing like this is the time to do something. And so that was just what the process behind that. So
Yeah, it's got a little dance, not little. I can't. I got to get out of little. My one of my mentees told me, he's like, you got to stop saying little. Like, just describe something. I'm like, I'm supposed to be teaching you. You're not supposed to be teaching me. Shut up. Respect the elders. Um, but I've noticed that there's a vibe to this, and it's a lot. It has, if you will, it has you're supposed to get up to this. Like when you said, it's funny as you said movement, I was like, this man made like a dance track. He really made like a dance track. You just don't have the words to it. So, was there anything specifically? Because I felt like that was a little different when it comes to like usual stuff you make. It's more like battery, battery, battery. And when I say battery, I mean like it's more impact necessarily. But this one you were going for more melody, and then like there's just like an undertone of the battery. What made you want to go in that direction for this track?
um I guess it just how it just naturally came out that way, especially when I was starting off with the chords. I knew that it just needed some type of movement. Um yeah, usually when I'm making a lot of like these beats, it's there's not really much like thought
Mm-hmm.
process behind it. I'm just kind of just going with the flow. I'm just in my flow state. So
Right, right,
yeah.
right. Okay, okay. Left side. Why left side? Why couldn't it be the right side? What's up?
Well, um just the idea of like um getting distracted. You're in a place where it's like
Interesting.
uh yeah.
Break. Yeah, you got it. Look, man. You know I'm deep, bro. So, like, what do you mean by
Yeah.
getting distracted? Break that down for me, man.
Like when you're on like the beginning of the journey, and then there's just you kind of take a little bit of a detour where it's kind of very unexpected, so you kind of just you go left, you know. Um yeah. Um it just yeah, that was pretty much. I wasn't really getting too deep into that. It just
Don't do
whatever
that.
whatever
Don't do
came into
that.
the
Don't do that, Drew. You're deep in it, dude. Listen, let me talk. Let me talk about my brother real quick, and I'm gonna get the horns for this because he's playing. If he ain't gonna gas himself up, I'm gonna gas him up. There's one thing as a producer. I don't care what anybody says. It's a way of making. It's a conveying a message without using any words, and every producer has that. So, Drew, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear none of that, not one bit. You understand me? So, like,
yeah.
you get this is the space that if you wanted to get super deep, get super deep, bro. You don't gotta feel weird, man. We family, bro. You already know that. Like just talk to me like it's just you and me here. Like, why the left side? Say it with your chest, bro.
Yeah, it was just I guess it came to mind just because it was just the idea of like whenever someone would just get distracted, and um I guess just left kind of just came to mind. Left, just going
Like came out
turning
of
left.
left field type thing. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this went left, like that type of
Yeah.
thing. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So similar to that. Yeah, a lot of these title names it's just kind of like I didn't overthink it. It just whatever came to mind, and I just needed to name it something, and so it just popped up, left side.
Gotcha.
So
I
Yeah.
feel you. You used that phrase a couple times before we go to the next track. You've used that phrase a couple times, overthinking it. You didn't overthink this project. Is that something that when I say the word succumb to, is that something that you've succumbed to in the past? And what's the dichotomy between, as you said, I mean, you kind of spoken on a little bit about renewing your mind and not being conformed to the ways of this world. Is that something that you struggled with, I would say, on past projects, or just other inserts that you have given to the space?
Yeah, especially with a lot of my beats, like I've struggled with just overthinking and not just being in like just in the flow of things and just um yeah, just understanding it's okay to for not to be perfect the first time. You can just fix it
Right.
later. So that's something that I've been working on a lot. So
No, I know what you mean because I a lot of and this is why like I applaud you. Even when it comes to just doing it as you're doing it, because it's very easy with life, especially. And and this is gonna parlay into the next song. It's very easy when life is happening to get succumbed by it or to be overwhelmed or even conformed by it, as Romans 12 warns us not to do. That you continue to produce music. So what has been something outside of like, the working out as well as reading your Bible, if you wanted to give a message to producers, rappers, you name it, musicians, because at the end of the day you're an artist, what's something that you do for yourself to continue to kind of like keep, because I've noticed that you just have like a different when I don't want to get all caught up in this new age words like auras and vibes and all this other but you have like a childlike approach to these things, a childlike wonder, like you're having fun, you're smiling, you're being very expressive and a lot more animated. What is some advice that you would give to whether up and coming and established consistent artists to continue to have, like, what advice would you give so they don't find themselves in the trap that you would say that you found yourselves in at one point?
yeah, I would say uh I had to learn just to yeah, not to expect things or just to be perfect all at once. It just takes time, especially if you when it comes to just being disciplined and being knowing that you want some sort of change to happen, but it just having I guess having patience with myself more. I think
Mm.
that's probably the key, when it comes to just creating what or starting a new habit or, just
Hmm.
understanding it's not something that's gonna happen just overnight. It takes time. So
Okay. Patience with yourself. Why that? What, why worded like that? And why is that? Why was that imperative for you?
um yeah, I guess there were points in my life where I thought uh things need to just happen right away. We can be very like impatient people often, and sometimes we always just have to just remind ourselves, just to take our time with things and just not worry about just be having it perfect the first time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So for this track, okay, a change is coming. Why that? Why a change is coming? And if I've listened to it, and again, for those, if you want to check it out, I'll drop the link. Actually, the link is in the bio. So if anybody wanted to like watch this podcast and then stop, listen to the track, let this be an experience to you. But why? There was a tone switch. There was definitely a tone switch.
Yeah.
Like when from left side to a change is coming. Why the switch, and what was the inspiration behind the change is coming?
I was going more for, I guess I was playing around with some Latin kind of chords. So I was going for like a Latin kind of spring summertime
Well,
vibe
bro,
to
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
last time I checked, you Latin, my brother. I mean, like that's
Yeah.
you. Wait, like, you better
Yeah.
put your DNA in that mug. Shoot, you better talk to him
Yeah.
real quick, Drew. Come on now, come on, Drew.
Oh yeah. So I was more like, releasing kind of just my Latin side, my Puerto Rican side of me. So it kind of fit for that track because it just had like a spring summertime feel to it. Um and it just represented kind of like a season, whether it's a physical season or a season of life kind of changing.
hmm
I guess that's how I thought about it.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 We might need more of that. Well, maybe I might. I'll speak for myself, but I think that's dope, man. And I think tapping into that is dope. And I think especially when we're going off of Romans 12, let's read this again. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is. So I might be wrong, Drew, but usually the music that you put out and specifically the beats that you put out, I'm not saying that you try to stay away from like cultural influence for this as far as like your own cultural influence. What made you want to add your heritage, if you will, your culture into this track?
Yeah, I guess just under yeah, just understanding just who I am as a person, understanding just my roots. Um yeah, it just was a feeling that I just wanted to let out. So,
Okay. Is that something that you said understanding your roots? What do you mean by understanding your roots?
like just taking my time to understand like just who I am, like what is, my background and
hmm
um yeah, just remembering, where my family comes from. So it's just I wanted something to just represent that. So
That makes sense. That makes sense. And not to make you feel like the rest of this is trash by any means. But let's get to my favorite. Revive, or I've been calling it revival. My kids I've actually been playing this around my children, and they're like, no, dude, it's revive. It's not revival. I'm like, shut up. I know what it is. And I got corrected on two different songs. Not only this, but No Lie by Lecrae about like the chorus part. I was like, man, I heard it this way. Whatever. Okay. So so you got family on this track now. You got family,
yeah.
a divinity alum, if you will, on this. What made you want to go with this direction? I like that you added a neo soul vibe to it as well.
Yeah.
How did the process of constructing this track go, and what made you want to choose Maya for this one?
Yeah, so I was gonna originally release it without vocals at first. But I showed it to, my boy Kalen Ellis. It was during one of our consultations, and he kind of suggested, hey, maybe you should add like a vocalist on this, a singer. And so um when that came to mind, I was like, maybe I just ask Maya and see how she feels. Like what is her feelings about this track. And so um based on the song title and then based on um she was able to just write something based on like what was kind of in her heart to say in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, usually when I send Maya stuff that has like a good title to it, she's able to
Mm-hmm.
kind of just figure out what to write to it, just on a spiritual level. So
Oh,
that's just how she is. Yeah.
okay. Let's get back to you for
Yeah.
a second. Revive. Um, that word is powerful in itself, especially for those that follow Jesus and recognizing after 3 days after he was being sentenced and put to death, crucified to death. just resurrection or revival in itself. Those words have such a meaning to us. Why particularly did that word resonate with you so much that you essentially named your song that?
Well, this I was looking this up. So a synonym to revive is actually renew. So
Well,
when
hold
you
up.
look up the yeah,
Drew, you preaching up here? Hold on, man.
yeah,
Hold on. You preaching up here,
yeah,
Drew? Say that. Hold on. Drew. So my new thing now, because I have a new microphone in case you could tell. So I get a little aggressive with the sake. So Drew, I don't think did you hear that? Did you hear that, Drew?
yeah.
Did you hear? Okay, cool. Drew, I don't think they heard you in the back. Like my daughter's still asleep over there. So I'm gonna need you to say that one more again, because I don't think they heard you, man. Say that one more again. And I'll be on camera when you say this. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was looking up the definition of revive, and I was looking it up. The synonym to one of the synonyms to revive is renew. So it's has
Man.
the same concept. So yeah.
Wow. All right. All right. My bad. I complete well, actually no, I'm not gonna say my bad because I meant to interrupt you on purpose because I wanted to make sure you caught that. But yeah, man, keep going, man. So why okay. All right. So keep going off of that. Build off that, bro. Keep going, keep going.
Yeah, it was just I was kind of like in a thought process of like I could probably make it a track that makes people feel more, I guess, refreshed. Um, just the idea of revive, because revive also, like I was looking at the definition of I saw the word renew, I saw the word refresh, like a refreshing. Um, and like the visuals that I had for that, when I was promoting it, I was getting an idea of like water and trees and just the idea of when the idea of baptism that kind of came to mind, being renewed, through that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. This look, first off, this one is I and maybe it's because like not to obliterate because I actually started freestyling to a couple of these a little bit, even to revive a little bit. I this one, man, I mean, like, first off, we gotta blow this one up. So like I'm telling you personally, like, look, y'all gotta
Yeah.
do better, man. Like y'all gotta do better. I know it says buy the album for $5 on the link I told y'all. Y'all just drop 5 just for Revive. Please, if y'all could do that alone, 5 for
Yeah.
Revive off rip. I'm gonna do it my doggone self. Because it's so much I feel like that's what's missing a lot of times when it comes to I don't know how to describe it. Like when it comes to like worship music, I feel like, and you and me talked about this before. When it comes to worship music, sometimes it can get very stale, for lack of a better word, because they try to stay in their box of as far as what like how do we give expression of adoration to God essentially. But this, man, y'all smoked this. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all legitimately
Yeah.
smoked it. Like I was actually the only thing I was upset about. I was like, this should have been longer. Damn it! But you, man, y'all listen, y'all. That's one of them ones, man. I'm like, nah, this one. There's no reason why this should not be getting enough attention,
Yeah.
man.
I definitely felt like with this track that was based on like what Maya was able to write to this, it definitely had a lot of like transparency, because it definitely related to her, just based on what she wrote. And so um that's what I was just yeah, I was really like resonating with just what she's able to write to this. So that's why, I definitely wanted to keep her vocals on there. So
For sure, for sure. Can
yeah.
we expect? I'll ask you this, and I'll pick on Maya a little later. Can we expect LP and EP of Maya and CeeAHNO? in the future? Is that something that we could possibly get in the future? Because y'all, listen,
Yeah.
this some Dre and Snoop Dogg. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, yeah, I, when I say this, I mean this respectfully. Like, I feel like this is the style complements Maya's vocals so well. Maya's vocals, it like if you just close your eyes, you can just kind of drift with this, man. This is good. But can we expect a project between you two, like 5 songs, bare minimum? Can we expect a project from y'all two in the future?
Yeah, I could definitely see it. We've talked about it a few times, like in the past. So that's
Okay.
something where we're definitely I want to work on that with her. She's definitely one of the artists that I'm really building with a lot. So and we tend to just connect a lot on when it comes to music. So that's definitely in mind. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. All right. Man, this is definitely this gets me excited because not only one, it was inspiring for me, as well as just the stuff you sent me. Like, hey, check these out. Let me know what you think as far as these go. Um, but man, this is definitely one of those projects, and I think I get a different appreciation to this only because I am a producer. So I'm so some people get weirded out by, like, I would say beat tapes or instrumentals because they're like, there's no words. I'm like, yeah, it's the point of an instrumental. There's literally just instruments. What can we expect not only more sounds like this or arrangements like this when it comes to projects mainly instrumental based, and then you throw us a Lucy with, I like how you try to put Revive in here as like a little Lucy, like, all right, here you go, here's a song y'all can
Yeah.
sit to. Can we expect how many more EPs, stuff like this, when it comes to just instrumentals? And what was the intention of just keeping these outside of track 5, Revive, just instrumentals? What was the purpose of a mostly instrumental based project?
Yeah, I didn't really see the need for, I guess, a vocalist for those first 4. It just I felt like when it comes to telling stories, there's a lot that you can just do without vocals and having other instruments.
Right.
I don't think every story needs to have vocals on it. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's just using just sounds in general. I think it can tell a story. You know, especially when you listen to like especially like movie soundtracks where it's just, instrumentals and with a movie scene or
Mm-hmm.
um I kind of like that was like just like my thought process behind that. Like not every song needs vocals. You know. So
Okay. Would you say that so with that, would you say that you had an idea for like how this music could be used, tracks 1 through 4, how these tracks could be used in the future?
yeah, like I definitely was able to see how it could be used visually, whether it's for a video or something, that kind of what helped me to just create some content behind it. So when it comes to visuals, so yeah.
Okay. Okay. So um what do you have as far as stuff? So I know something that y'all don't know. Drew is also working on a project, a future project. I can't give any hints outside of what I've asked for consent to. But tell us a little bit about this project, what it's about, and when can we expect it? Let me know how that's going to work out, Drew.
Yeah, so renewal is a process. Renewal, it's a process. It's not just an EP. It's actually going to be a full album, which I'm still working on. Uh, I'm planning on getting it released by next year, 2026. So it's still in process. Um, I still have a few more songs to finish up. So
Okay.
it's gonna be like a more of a extended version of the EP. There's going to be a little bit more structure to that to the album
Okay.
than the EP. So I feel like it'll definitely make sense once it drops. So
Okay. Can we expect more vocals on this project? Do we have another track with
yeah.
you and Maya by chance? What give me an idea of like featured artists, if you will, that would be on this.
So yeah, when it comes to vocalists, yeah, there's gonna be more.
Okay.
There's gonna be a combination of singers and rappers too on this. So it's gonna be um I would say I'm gonna say like it's the since it's gonna be like an album, uh definitely the second half of it, there's gonna be a change in the vibe, the overall vibe of the sound. So
Okay.
it's definitely gonna catch people off guard a little bit. So which I'm kind of want to do. So
All right. Okay. That's what's
yeah.
up. That's what's up for sure, for sure, for sure. So I gotta ask because we're in 2025 and apparently this is a thing. Are you gonna hit us with like a 30 track album and trying to be like Chris Brown or something like that? Like, or are we talking about like just 10 songs, 12 songs, like a normal human being? What are we what are we looking
I'm
at when it comes
sticking
to this project?
I'm sticking to 10.
Okay.
And then I also have I have a few co-producers with me up for the rest of the album. So it's not just me producing. So
Okay.
I'm grateful for that. You know, I have other people producing with me. So
Okay. Well, you know that 10, you know, 10 in the Bible, it means completeness. You know what I'm saying? Perfect order, divine law,
yeah.
much like Romans 12, you know what I'm saying? So that's good. So I'm not sure what 40 is in the Bible. I'm not sure where Chris Brown falls in that category, but all right, because just 40 songs is still 40 songs. Yeah, for sure. All right, brother. I think we just about covered everything. But there's been quite a bit of music, and I know you love talking about music. Tell me a little bit about like what you've been seeing, not only in CHH, but as well as music that we've just seen that of artists that we've both. First off, apparently I have you to blame for my John Bellion obsession because let me tell you something. I I knew who John Bellion was off of Uncomfortable, the Andy Mineo album, right? What I'm trying to remember what the song is. Rat Race. Yeah. I know him from that, right? But I was rewatching our interview about a year ago, and I'm like, damn, Drew mentioned this brother like at least 20 times. At least 20 times. Let me tell you something. Last summer, um, I spent like a good amount of time and I'll just put it this way. So I went on a 14-hour drive. I went to Chicago, right? Drew, I listened to nothing but John Bellion. Like the whole 14-hour drive. When I say I listened to The Separation for at least for half of it. That one song Kingdom Come really speaks to me on that project. But as well as just getting really familiar with that Glory Sound, Human Condition. Uh Man, so Father Figure came out a couple of months ago. I already knew you were a huge Belly fan, man. John Bellion fan, man. Tell me a little bit about this project. And you've already kind of mentioned that he inspires a lot of like how you look at songwriting and song making. Tell me about Father Figure and give me a little bit of where do you think John Bellion is mentally when it comes to this one? Because as you can tell, and just see like the interviews that he's given, he's in a much better place, a different place, having control of not only the amount of music he puts out, not getting caught up in any more slave deals or anything like that. Talk to me about Father Figure, man. What do you notice the difference as a avid and as a longtime John Bellion consumer as far as music goes? Tell me about Father Figure.
yeah, there was definitely I definitely heard like a growth when it comes to like his maturity, especially as a man and just as a as a dad. He's been a dad for, oh, over the, I think it's been a quite some time. Even when he took his break, like he's been a dad throughout that whole time. Um, so it's just yeah, just being able to hear more about him being a dad, him being, a husband, and just really he's gotten to a point where he's like, yeah, he's definitely putting his family first. And just especially within his, his music, and um yeah, just being more because I noticed even with the previous album, he would probably mention his wife a little bit, but I felt like for this album he felt more comfortable being more transparent about his family, about where he's at in his life. So yeah.
Yeah, dude, he was snapping on. So I was listening to the title track. First off, he got Pharrell on the album. He got Pharrell on the album. That was
Yeah.
a shocker to me as itself. It was just like, I wonder what this is gonna sound like. And I'm gonna ask you, we'll get the father figure, the title track for a second, but I'm gonna ask you about this. So he sampled this one song, the pop song. The one that goes da-da-da, da-da-da. What's the name of that song, Drew? It's been driving me insane ever since the album came out. Do you know the name of the song he sampled? It's bothering me, truly bothering me. Do you happen to know? Yes, no.
Which track?
So,
The
what is it? The horoscope with Pharrell. Do you happen to know what he? I know the song because I've heard it probably my whole life. The sample, but I can't remember like what the original song was. Do you happen to know what it is?
I think they probably did like an interpolation of it. I don't know if he like
Nah,
sampled
bro.
it. Yeah.
Nah, bro. I
No.
listen. When I find it, I'm going to send it to you, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
clip up that song, and you're gonna be like, "Huh, that was
Yeah.
slick." So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, if Pharrell got on it, they definitely had to clear the sample because I don't think
Yeah.
he wants to have another situation like what happened with Marvin Gaye's family. I don't think we want that. Shoot.
Yeah.
That he's on a run right now. But father figure, the track father figure itself, that I'm curious to hear what you think as far as like listening to Bellion's usual sound, if he does have a sound, because I can't find two John Bellion songs that sound similar. Tell me a little bit about father figure, because when you were speaking about his family and stuff like that, he also was speaking from a place of like, look, if you a dad, like you can't be a piece of shit. That's
Yeah.
basically what he was trying to say. What you think of the message of that song, and then just as a producer, like I need you to get in your super nerdy, like overanalyze this track. Like, what do you think about not only how he arranged that song, but how he was able to convey the message when he put it together?
Yeah, like I think he was the way he put it out, it was kind of a way of saying like, yeah, we as men, we have to, definitely step up for our families, but at the same time, not having that expectation that everything needs to be perfect. Like it's always just we're always in a work in progress. We're always learning to get better. Um, so I definitely felt that throughout the project, where it was like he wasn't expecting people to just have it all together, whether you're a dad or a male figure to somebody. Like it's just you got to do your best, and just so with what you have.
Right. Especially as us as disciples of Christ, because we're covered under the dispensation of grace. And I get in debates with people when people are like, "Oh, well, John Bellion's not a Christian." I'm like, so because he cusses, he's not a Christian. They're like, yes. I'm like, but don't you cuss in everyday life? Aren't you still a Christian and still covered by grace and grace alone and not by works? Like, let's not do that. But when it comes to us as disciples of Christ, it's also that recognition of like, hey, you're not going to always get it right, as we know. We're saved by grace and grace alone and not by works. The works come after faith. The works are evidence of this faith and God in your life. But I think that was I just love where he's at right now. I mean, he seems a lot freer. He seems to smile a lot more when he's in interviews and stuff like that. And you could just tell that he's coming out of a place of, at least to, because I got onto him late, and like I was kind of ignorant to what you were saying last time you were here, but he's making music now that he wants to make, not so he could just get out of a contract. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically what I
Yeah.
got out of it. So his message is how he wants his message. He owns the rights to all of his music, and he doesn't have to work his behind off to own his masters and be in debt with because I think he had to deal with it was Live Nation, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that was this wanted to go into my next question just for you. So you're an independent artist, and you also produce. And do you have any songwriting credits? Like, have you written any songs for people by chance?
I do. Yeah, I do produce.
I know you produce,
And
but
I
like
do. Yeah.
when I say like when I say songwriting, it's like has somebody given you, like when you gotten a beat for when you given a beat to somebody and they didn't go through the whole process, like did you help them like construct their verses, at least like how the cadence should go, and like write the hook, if you will, or even like have you actually done that in the past or plan to do that in the future by chance?
Uh, maybe in the future. It's
Okay.
more a lot of the artists I've worked for, they kind of know how to vocal produce themselves.
Okay.
So it just depends on the person, you know.
Okay.
Everybody's different. So
Okay. So
yeah.
the reason I'm asking this is because I think that this would be good, just not only for both of us to give a response to, but I think for those that are just in this. So how long have you been making music, Drew? I forgot from the last time I asked you. How long have you been actually making music?
So I've been performing music since I was probably elementary school. This was before playing guitar and piano. This was back when I used to play I used to play percussion, I used to play tuba, um, and then I used to be in choir in school and at church. So I've been a musician a good majority of my life. But I didn't get really into the um yeah, because I got into guitar and piano in high school, like around 15, between 15 and 17. 15 when I was playing guitar, 17 when I was piano. And then when I got into producing, that was more towards college. That's when I really got into like recording, understanding recording, um and then even engineering. Engineering actually came before the producing because I would do a lot of live engineering at church. Um, so when it comes to live sound, so that I felt like it kind of made sense to go into the direction I am right now when it comes to producing, and doing both producing and engineering, doing
For
both.
sure.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure, for sure. So reason I want to get some information on this is, so you rub shoulders with quite a bit of people. You've at least already done that, and these people rub shoulders with other people. What advice would you have for just artists in general? Because we hear these horror stories all the time about these deals people signed and essentially signed, and now they're fighting tooth and nail trying to get ownership of their music and stuff like that. Obviously, we're independent. Well, you're independent because I'm more of a podcaster now than I am a rapper nowadays. Even though people are like, "Hey, once a rapper, always a rapper." I'm like, that sounds cool, but I know what I'm doing right now. So what advice would you have to an artist, especially when it comes to doing what you do specifically? Um, what advice would you have for them as far as just being an independent artist? Like, if you want to make this a career, like, you get paid for this. I don't know if y'all know this, but Drew gets paid for this. And I tell Drew, like, hey, don't be trying to do nobody no damn deals, bro. What the hell's wrong with you, man? God gave you that gift. You better charge people for it and put some taxes on it. Shoot. If you wanted
Yeah.
to, if somebody wanted to make a career out of this, shoot. Look, I ain't look, if Drew's out here cutting anybody deals, please let me know. I'll snitch. I'll let him know where it came from. Shoot. But what advice would you have for anybody that's trying to make a career of this as an independent artist? doing what you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say just figure out what parts of it you enjoy, whether it's the producing, whether it's the songwriting, um, whether it's just being having that I guess having that mentality of like just um knowing how to serve people, being more learning how to give at first, and um and then knowing like, all right, not being so not being so impatient when it comes to receiving, because sometimes when it comes to
What do you mean by that?
um yeah, when it comes to music, it takes time. It takes time to actually make money because people have to really build a trust with you. They have to know that you're gonna do um what you are giving them. So it's I think relation building that relationships with people, that's definitely a key thing. Building that trust with people. Um that's how um that's a big part of it. So
Okay. Okay. Um, and another thing I wanted to ask you, and this will probably be the last question before we got to get to our quick hitters, is hmm, if you had any advice for if you could give some advice like to a younger CeeAHNO, a younger Drew when he essentially first got started in this producing bag, in this creating music bag, what advice would that be for your younger self who just got started in this?
um yeah, I would tell myself to keep going. Don't stop. Um eventually you're gonna get to where you need to go. It's not gonna be an overnight thing. As long as you don't stop doing it, there's always gonna be something that's gonna
Right.
happen. So, you know.
Hmm. For sure, for sure. All right, bruh. I'm about to get you out of here, but before I do, you already know we got some quick hitters. So this is where I'm just gonna ask some maybe some super profound but super ignorant questions for you to let people know a little bit about you. Ready for this, brother?
Yeah.
Okay. So my mentee said I had to get a little more creative with these questions. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to scare the brother off, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so okay, you're stuck on you're stuck on a deserted island, right? It's just you. If you knew you had one thing to have, right? Between these two things, and we're gonna go through three things, and we're gonna go to the next subject. So, oh God, um, deodorant or body wash. And by the way, you're by
Uh,
yourself.
okay. I think, man, that's a tough one
Yeah,
because
because like they're super
they both
important.
they both kind of do, the the job for your body. It's just
Yeah, but you can't like take a shower with deodorant, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you
yeah.
can't
Yeah,
and you,
I think I would probably do the body wash because at least you can just clean your whole body. That's kinda how I see it, yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so this one's not as gross. Okay. So laptop or cell phone? Dang it, it did it. See, you saw that, right? You witnesses. This doggone thing is
Yeah.
tripping. My goodness. Laptop. What the hell was that? Laptop or cell phone? on a deserted island? What do you rather have?
I do a cell phone. It's a lot more portable,
Really? Why the cell
and
phone? Interesting. Hmm.
um, the laptop, even though you can kind of place it down, whether it's on your lap or somewhere, um, I feel like with the laptop, it can easily kind of overheat very quickly, especially if you have it
Yeah.
low. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
them fans gonna get to going. I mean, like you might get some sand in that mug. Them fans gonna be working. Shoot, I didn't even think about it like that. And plus,
yeah.
I don't know if you've done it yet, but there's this app I have on my phone. It's called Koala. You can produce some music on Koala. I don't know if you've got tried out Koala yet, but there's some things that are like handheld friendly, I guess. They ain't a lot of plugins you use, but that's another subject for another day. Oh, you about
Yeah,
to say something?
BandLab is another one. A lot of people use BandLab now. That's definitely another thing that people use whenever they don't have a laptop. They'll use BandLab. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I haven't checked out BandLab yet. I'll have to check that out for sure. For sure. Okay. Last one on a private island. Okay. Oh, Lord Jesus. Let's just say this actually happens. These are hypotheticals. Electricity or Wi Fi?
Uh, you kind of need electricity for the Wi-Fi, so I'll take the electricity.
Yeah, but let's just say the router isn't like, how let's be honest. Like, there's been times probably in your life you like, you know what? I'm gonna get the password from my neighborhood. I'm not gonna pay for internet this month. Shoot. I'm asking, let's just say you don't have access to the Wi-Fi. You know where the plugs are, you just don't have to be responsible for the bill. So yeah, keep that in mind. Because you might have that phone,
Oh,
but yeah. You might have that phone, but you got no way to, you're out of data. Like you can't even stream that shit no more. Like, what you going
okay,
with?
yeah, yeah. I guess it just depends on like where you're at. Like if you're like deserted somewhere, the electricity would make more sense. But if you're like somewhere like where there is power in the area, yeah, I would see the Wi-Fi makes sense. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
There's a debate going on in freaking September of all times. I don't know why we're talking about this right now, but I guess we might as well get ready for the outrage. Um, Thanksgiving, right? Let's talk about Thanksgiving for a second. Not the Christopher Columbus Thanksgiving. I'm talking about the American holiday Thanksgiving, right? Um, every November we get together for food with everybody, right? What is the most overrated Thanksgiving dish?
Um, the I keep forgetting. Is it called like potato pie or something?
Potato, sweet potato pie?
Yeah, sweet potato pie. Yeah.
Oh, Drew, sweet potato. Look, sweet potato pie. Okay. So is it? Look. He's not one of us, but he loves us. Okay, he loves the culture. He respects black people. Let's chill for a second. Okay. Okay. So why? God, Drew. Okay. Remember that thing I said earlier about if you got beef with Drew, it's probably your fault. Let's try to reconcile this a little bit. So, Drew, why sweet potato pie? If you don't mind me asking, shoot.
Um, I'm just not a really a fan of the texture, just how it tastes. For me, I rather
Oh,
just have a regular sweet potato. I don't really need the
okay,
sweet
that
potato.
makes sense.
I like sweet potatoes. I just not a big fan of sweet potato pie. So
Gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
so if you had a pie, you would prefer over sweet potato pie. What would that be? Or like a cake, if you will. You know what I'm saying? What would you prefer over sweet potato pie?
Probably like apple pie or pumpkin. You know. Yeah.
Pumpkin. Damn it, Drew. Drew, I'm trying to work with you. Okay. I'm trying. Apple, I understand. I don't know anybody in their right mind who just says, oh, you know what I want? I want a pumpkin pie. I've never heard anybody say that ever in life. My God. Okay. Whew. Lord have mercy. Again, lay off my brother. You know what? I'm hopping in the trenches with Drew. You know what? If he says that sweet potato pie is overrated, I don't agree with him, but y'all ain't gonna talk to my brother if you want to get greasy like that. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Before I'll have him start charging y'all extra for beats. Try if you want to. Don't say nothing disrespectful now. Shoot. Okay, let's stick on food for a second. Cereal. Everybody eats cereal. Hopefully you eat cereal, bud. Okay.
Yeah.
What goes first? The milk or the cereal?
I put the cereal first.
Okay. All right. Why, if you don't mind me asking?
Because I don't want to put too much milk before the cereal.
Okay. I mean, that is actually the best argument. So I like my milk before the cereal because my argument is I don't like my cereal getting soggy. Like that should make me, I don't know what it is. I'll gag over some damn soggy cereal. I don't know what it is. I can't do it. But that was probably the best argument I heard to why you put cereal first. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Okay. Lord have mercy. Okay. Oh, I got you. Everybody likes chicken wings. Hopefully. I mean, unless you're a demon. I mean, and you're a vegan. I'm kidding. You're not demonic if you're you're vegan or you're vegetarian. Let me chill on that. Your favorite chicken wing, like sauce. What sauce? Because I asked you flats or drums last time, but what favorite chicken wing would that be?
Flavored chicken wings. I'm gonna go barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This will let me know if you a child of God or not. Ranch or blue cheese?
I'm definitely a ranch.
Oh, thank God. Okay, he's been redeemed. Yeah. Praise God. He's been, oh, my God. Yes, that damn. I was really worried about that sweet potato one. I was like, oh, Jesus, that. Boy, when I say you made me sweat, I was like, man, because these internet people, these internet gangsters get stupid sometimes. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay. All right. So, brother, last question. Because I think I asked you this before, but I never actually cashed in on these favors. So these might be the same people. This is season 4 of the Kid Casper podcast. If you would like to see anybody up here on the Kid Casper podcast for me to have a dialogue with, or interview, if you will, who are those people? But as you know, these people have to be people. The suggestions you give have to be people you can get on here, essentially. And since it's season 4, you gotta give me 4, dog. Give me 4 people that you would like to see on the. Yeah, this is probably the hardest question I got for you.
Yeah. I definitely. I would say Kalen Ellis. I've been mentioning his name throughout the whole interview. I would say Kalen Ellis.
Okay. And you can get him on here. Yes.
Yeah, I can talk to him.
You could talk to him. All right, Drew. That sounds like a non-committal answer, but okay. All right.
I would say I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, I can't really think of anybody else that comes to mind that would want to do something like this. I don't know.
Well, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, I can't think of
Yeah, because all the other people, I was gonna say because
Whew.
Maya's already been on here. Like
Well, she's
she
never
we
been interviewed. I've never interviewed her one on one. Maya's
okay.
never been interviewed. She's been on the pod, but an interview like
Okay.
it's a single camera. No, 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 no. So you could have said
Yeah, I
it's
would say her would be the second one.
okay.
The last two, actually, I just thought about this. Um, one of my producer friends, Sinto the core guy. That's another person. Um,
Okay. What kind of stuff he what
yeah,
kind of stuff does he come up with music wise?
he does a lot of like R&B, neo soul. Um, he does a lot. He does some like he teaches piano. Um, and he's also a Christian too. I've had a few conversations with him, so I think he would be somebody that um he would like to do something like this.
Okay.
Um yeah, he's also part of the Makers Club, the community that Kaylin Ellis started. So he'll be yeah. I've had conversations with him a lot. Trying to think of a fourth.
Yep, I make y'all work. I look,
Yeah.
I've, you know how hard it is. You know how hard it is to come up with these questions on the fly and freestyle most of these. Shoot, I'm gonna make y'all work for a little bit. Shoot.
Um Actually another one I was thinking about is my my friend Toombs. Um Me and him we've worked on in music a lot. Um I think he'll be another person that he has a lot to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm clipping this up and I'm putting it. I'm like, look, your boy CeeAHNO's the one that mentioned y'all. If y'all don't, I know Miles not gonna be an issue. Shoot. But everybody else, I'm be like, look, he the one that mentioned y'all. Don't get mad because I'm the one tagging y'all and like I will cash those in for sure, for sure. But okay. All right, brother. Outside of all my foolishness, is there anything that you would like to share? Not only with the audience, as well as is there any questions you got for me by chance?
Uh Not at the moment, no.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 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 We're still we still remember that raisins don't go in potato salad, right? We know that's still that's gospel, right? We know that still, right?
Yeah, I don't know anybody personally that does that, so I'm
Okay.
grateful for that.
We know mayonnaise doesn't go in peas. We know somebody that does that because that's insane. Good God.
Yeah.
And all right, cool. So we're doing all right. And Jesus is still king at the end of the day. So that's what's up. Thanks,
Yeah.
Drew. I mean, like this was dope, man. I think this was this is definitely one. I'll have to clip this one up. And with your permission, I'll clip this one up and throw in like some snippets um of your EP just to have and stuff like that. Arrange this, but I think this is dope, man. I think this is a dope conversation, bro. You opened up a little bit more
Thanks.
this time because you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I get it. You get these are look, man. Just think about it like this. You're just talking to me. I think I'm easy to talk to. I don't know. I mean, like I've been told I'm pretty kind of a hard ass sometimes, but I think I'm pretty easy to talk to. But yeah, brother, like this, we family, man. And anytime you want to come back, bro, and you got like a project, you got a song. I don't care if you even got a song, bro, and you want to come up for like 20 minutes or something, and I'm already doing a show or something. We could do that, bro. That won't be an issue, man. One
Yeah,
love, one
definitely.
love. For sure, man. For
Alright.
sure. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in this morning. It's 12:29 Eastern Standard Time. This has been dope. Thanks again, Drew, for coming through. I should be back on tonight with my co-host, Lee, as y'all know. Until then, always remember you are beautiful, blessed, and beloved. Raisins, Drew, say that with me. Say it with me, bro. Raisins do not
Just
go
don't
in
go on potato salad.
They do not go on potato salad. Something is wrong with y'all, okay? Raisins don't go on potato salad. And Jesus wasn't white. I don't know why we're still debating this. Drew, you know I saw a picture the other day of a white Jesus, and I swore to God, it was Triple H from like WWE. I don't know if you ever watched wrestling, but it looked flat out like Triple H.
Yeah.
Raisins don't go on potato salad, and Jesus wasn't white. Have a good night.